So for this session, we're going to look a little bit more about data in spreadsheets and how we actually get the data into the spreadsheet that we might use and some of the issues that go along with that. And then I'll follow up with this video with an example video for how to do that and provide you with all the files needed. So when we import data into a spreadsheet, it's important to understand file formats. And file formats are the structures that are within a file that a particular program requires to read or to display its contents. So common file formats include text files, document files, spreadsheet files, images, sound, video, and archives. And we can see the different types of file extensions throughout each of these. So TXT is the most common form of a text file. If you are familiar with Microsoft Word, you know that docx is the file extension for Word files. But also PDF files have the .pdf extension. So these are not just files to organize or file types to organize what type of file it is, but it actually allows the program to understand the information contained in it. For us, with spreadsheets, we have XLSX for Microsoft Excel or XLS for the older versions. There are some other forms there like XLT for template files in Excel, but we won't necessarily be using those for this course. Another file format that we use commonly is CSV, which is comma separated values. And those are very, very common with spreadsheets, and we'll talk about those a little more. Also, XML and JSON are two other file types that we may encounter in this class because those particular file types are able to be imported into relational databases as well as spreadsheets. So let's look at this a little more from the Excel side. So we can import data from different locations within Microsoft Excel. So normally what we do is just import data from a workbook itself or from a text file or a CSV file. So if it's a text file, normally those text files are tab separated or space separated files, or the pipe character, for example. So you might have a different alternate format. CSV files, though, are indicated as CSV because they are always comma separated values. So basically each column is listed and each column is separated by a particular comma. Another way to interact with data in Microsoft Excel is importing from XML. XML stands for Extensible Markup Language, and it's really tag based, and it's to indicate hierarchical data. So this is an example of an XML file that indicates a bank account. So this particular bank account has the bank account number 1234. Its type is checking. It was opened in 1974. It has a balance of $25,000. And you notice that there's a nested bit of information here. So it has an account holder whose last name is Singh, whose first name is Darshan, and then we close the bank account. So that is the type of information that you could store in an XML file. Another type of file that is very common today is JSON, and JSON stands for JavaScript Object Notation. And it's really more of a programmatic style, and JavaScript, of course, is a programming language. So this is very similar to how that would be structured. But if you look at this, it is quite similar to the way XML is structured, and you can have nested things inside this. So you notice here it says arguments. Well, the argument is number, and the value for that is 10. The URL for that is listed here. The method is post. The header has a particular set of information with it. So content type is one of those values, and the value for content type is application JSON. The body then is a list of things, which is denoted by these braces, and it has two of the same types of information. So this is a list of this type of information. So part 1 is ID with 0, name 0, and description 0. Part 2 is ID 1, name 1, and description 1. So it's a list of things within the body. And the output it suggests is JSON. So this type of information, as well as XML or text or just simply workbook data, can be imported directly into Microsoft Excel.